episode. We got episodes coming out all the time now because this truck build is moving faster than ever. We're super excited because progress on it has been going really well. I mean, obviously there's hiccups in the road and all that kind of stuff, and we have to fix and change and make things work as they go along, but that's any car build. So, truck build, vehicle build. Anyway, so we were just in Dallas, did the Dallas Super Show, and then now we're back. Today's the first day back. We got back yesterday, obviously, our favorite place in the world, Hoppo's. But while I was at Dallas Super Show, one of the most exciting things happened. I mean, maybe it's not as exciting for you because you already know what color the truck's gonna be. But Munch, who's from House of Color, decided to spray me out a really, really nice rendition of my paint color so that we could get it locked in and finalized so that we can get the paint ordered and sorted so it's ready when the truck's ready to go to paint. So let me show you that because I brought it with me back from Dallas. The craziest thing about it is that on camera it almost looks more gray. In real life it looks more pink. In some lights it looks champagne. So I'm going to show you it in the sun, and then I'm also going to, I have a patch of shade back here so that you can get an idea of what this actually looks like. This is the color in the sun. It's pretty great. So it's a Sherwin-Williams color. It's a 2013 Chevy Spark pink, for anybody that hasn't heard me say that a million times. It's a House of Color clear over top of it. And then here, like, I'll show you in the shade what it looks like. It changes, really. Like, it becomes a different... So this is gonna be the color of the body of the truck. I know on camera it's really hard to get an idea of what this looks like. It looks so much different in real life than in pictures, but I'm trying my best. So that's the color of the truck. I'm very, very excited about it. And then the other exciting thing is I mean, all you know that I'm Canadian. This truck started its build up in British Columbia, but I have my very first, my own California license plates for my truck. So that's a big deal for me. I've never had a California license plate before. So it's got its registration now, and it's here, it's registered in California. So we're ready, like when the truck is done I can drive it because it's registered. So this is pretty exciting. For me, it's a big deal. It's kind of like been a long time coming. For you, maybe it's not that exciting, but it's the little things. It's the little things. Anyways, we're gonna go inside. We're gonna go find Alex. Hopefully it's not too hot today. It's only 100 degrees right now, not 110, so. All right, so here's the plan. We got a list. Alex wants to get the front end mocked up and not finished, but in the correct spot for today so that we know that things are going, so that we can get cylinders in where they're supposed to be and things like that. The list is not as long as we thought it was going to be.
No, it's not too bad.
It could be way worse.
There's still a lot to do in 3 days, but it's doable.
We're trying now.
We're working as best as we can.
Okay, you remember our good old friend the calendar? Well, let me tell you, we're right here. We're trying to get the frame to powder coat here. So that means all welding, all changes on the frame, everything like that needs to be finished for this day so it can get picked up and go. But we're gonna do it because that's what we do. We make it happen. So yeah, I'm gonna unpack some boxes now because while we're away, all my front steering linkage showed up. So I have them all over there on that cart, that red cart back there. I'm gonna unpack those and then get things into place. So you can watch me unpack some boxes. It's like Christmas or something around here. actually has to go back on it one more time before we finish this all off, just because fit and finish and double checking and clearances and all that good stuff. So all the little things. Update. Steering linkage is now in here. We were concerned about clearance issues because, as you all know, this frame is not a stock frame. It was built to Toyota spec. However, you know, things become off sometimes and whatnot. So we were a little bit nervous about the whole steering linkage situation. There are some really close clearances, but it's looking like with a little bit of love, it's gonna work just fine and be okay. But next plan of attack for the front end. What do we got?
Polishing the rod for the arm.
Blur that out. That's inappropriate. Because you're gonna.
So we're just gonna clean this up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get power balls welded in place or tacked in. That way we can get the position of the lower and get the brackets built for the upper side.
Okay.
Once that's done, front end is pretty much 100% ready for disassembly for powder. Then we just gotta focus on the rear.
For chrome, not powder. For chrome.
Well, chrome and powder.
And powder, yeah. And for those of you that still haven't picked up on anything that's going on, it's for the hydraulics, not for bags. No bag mounts going on in the front of this. It needs hydraulic cylinders in the front, so that's what he's doing. Anyways. So for those that don't know, why would you run a Powerball here? So like you normally see them on like a diff or whatever, but not usually on a front arm.
Yeah, so the reason we're not doing like lower coil like conventional is we really don't have the spacing on the small front end. So we're gonna ditch the whole coil in here completely, and we're just gonna do accumulator with possible coil in the rear, but 100% accumulator for the front for sure.
Okay, because I know somebody's gonna be asking. They'll be like, why are you running a Powerball in the front?
Yeah, that way it's just safer too, longevity wise. Everything's mounted. You don't have to worry about anything ever falling out.
Yeah.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Complicated, but it's really not as complicated as it seems, I promise.
It sound right, boys.
Essentially, with this sleeve, it ends up keeping the cylinder straight and not moving for the truck. So obviously it's on the Powerball like we talked before, but it's going to make it so that it stays straight in the truck in the front end at all times. It won't be going anywhere, won't hit anything, won't interfere with anything in the engine bay, because we are lacking so much room. how we want it to be. Perfect, cycles well. And then the next plan of attack is the rear. However, things have to start getting moving so it can go to chrome, powder, and all those other places. The engraving shop, because there is a few pieces that are still gonna get engraved. So we're about to take everything sort of apart, start labeling and putting things together so I can make a run to the chrome shop this week and get things going. So everything's heading to biomag plating, and yeah, they're gonna be on a time crunch as well, and they're amazing and are great at getting things done on time, as we know. So if you need chrome plating, that's the place to go. Cylinders in position, front all mocked up with steering linkage, but now it's time to tag and put everything together so it can get to its next step.
It sound right, boy. It sound right, boy.
All right, see that box of stuff back there? That's all my front suspension. So basically, it all just got torn off the frame, and we are headed to biomag plating right now because it's gonna go in for chrome so we can get back in time after the frame comes back from powder coat. Next batch will be the rear suspension, so off we go. Let's make this happen and get things shiny. I can't believe we're at a stage where we're actually chroming stuff so that we can get it back onto the truck all shiny again. It's happening, guys. It's happening. Now our journey to biomag. So also, if you need chrome plating, biomag, dude, I'm telling you, they're the best. The quality's second to none. You need them in your life. So I'm gonna drive safely now, not with a camera. We're here. This and this, that, and this. Okay, that was super easy. Everything dropped off at Biomag. They're gonna take care of that. That was the front suspension, and then I have to come back on Friday and drop off the rear suspension. Everything is going to chrome so we can get it back in time so the rest of the frame can get mocked up. Crunch time is real right now. Crunch time is real. We're hoping they can get it done as fast as they can for us. So, panic sets in. Breathe, okay? You're gonna be fine. All right, it's the next day now. Chrome for my front steering has been all dropped off. And we're back at Hobo's because Alex was wanting a full sort of day to focus on the rear of the truck. He needed to concentrate and figure out all the geometry that was going on with it. So therefore, I didn't film it, but you're gonna see the update, which I've already seen a picture of it. I haven't seen it in person, but it looks insane. Let's go find and see what's going on. I gotta go find Alex, but it's pretty exciting. So hydraulic cylinders are sitting up top. It's a little bit different than in your normal system. He'll break it down for you and explain exactly why and how and his whole thought process on it.
This guy, he is next level.
The man, the myth, the legend. Oh, I just got off the phone with Munch, and he told me to tell you to suck it.
Sounds about like Munch.
And that he loves you.
Oh, that's exactly like Munch. Yeah, I
Okay,
wasn't
there you
expecting
go. So Munch, if you're watching, I passed the message that you told me to. Okay, this is wild.
Wait till you see what I'm building right now. Actually, perfect timing. It just finished cutting right now. So
in here? It's like, it's hot.
No, as long as everything, like you see, like I have a whole bunch of tester pieces right here. So as long as everything, all this look good. So now it's step 2 to make the final pieces.
And like weld it in
And
properly.
then tack it, do a little
Make
test.
sure, yeah.
And then make sure it's
And then weld
working.
it.
And then, yeah, then I'll build the whole other side. So I'm only building one side.
Okay, so because I'm terrible at explaining things and I won't be able to give the actual audience what is going on here, do you want to explain it to people? Because I know there's going to be so many questions.
So we're mixing like 3 suspensions in one. And the reason I say we're mixing it is because normally you guys are used to seeing, especially like on mini truck, accumulator. So we are doing accumulator. So it's gonna have a standard like the ball accumulator. It's gonna have that. But also, because of the way everything's shaped here, we wanted to go for a little bit of wow. And we went with an accumulated coil in place as well. So you're gonna have the coil transferring the motion for the shock. So as the cylinder pushes downwards, the cylinder's gonna push upwards here and the coil will compress. So all this will be ran in line. So this is very similar to like my Acme suspension. If you guys haven't seen that, it's the same thing.
Go check out that band if you haven't seen it. It's on Alex's YouTube. His YouTube's always linked below, so go check out his. But yeah, okay, back to it.
Shameful plug. But, so it'll be accumulated here with the accumulated ball, but on top of that, we'll also have the standard cylinder, which the only thing is we're not mounting the cylinder like you normally would see pushing down on the axle right here. Just because I don't want to see this big old, 2 shafts sticking up here. You just throw the look off.
Well, I think also people were thinking, which was kind of part of the original plan, was this hole that's back here in this structure was originally like, oh, are we going to put a cylinder through this? And I'm sure a lot of the audience thought that a cylinder was going to go through here, but we're thinking more of like a shock maybe through here, or
Depending on travel, it could be used for either shock, but right now I think of what I'm going to be using it for is more of a bulkhead fitting. So still got to do another plate here, and I will actually mount the fitting to transfer the fluid from here into here and run along. So
oh wow,
yeah. So things got a little more complex for sure since the last 24 hours, but it's looking good. It's looking promising. I got all the bracket angles right. Got all these bent up to fit the frame rail. And yeah, the other pieces are cutting right now, so let me go grab them.
okay, so this is what you cut.
So this is what I just
Where's
cut.
this at?
Let me get this. So this is gonna replace these ones. This is gonna sit like that. Roughly. And these are gonna sit here. You getting it now?
Yeah,
And then this will
sit there. Oh my gosh.
not bad. I had a dream about this last night. It like haunted me, so I had to make some.
You just lay awake at night thinking about it, or
Pretty
what?
much, yeah. So that's it, and then the cylinder will go here, and then if this rocks this way, it'll push the rod down.
It's wild to me that you didn't go to school for this and this just comes out of your head.
Yeah, I mean they
Like
won't.
how
It won't really teach you any of this stuff in school. You just gotta learn. And
you're just like, oh yeah,
figure
let me
it out.
give this a try.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, trial and error. I mean, you'll see like I have multiple like version 1 and version 2 of it. I was just trying to get the angles right. As I tack it together, it'll make more sense.
Oh goodness. All right, trust the process.
She's Italian.
Okay, if you didn't catch any of that, there's gonna be a hydraulic cylinder that comes off here that runs down parallel with the frame rail here. It's gonna push up here to back here where there is going to be a rod that's attached to this diff, the rear end. So, and that's what's gonna make the truck go up and down. So the cylinder is down here, and then there's this big lever thing. So it's technically called a cantilever system. And then there's a rod that comes down to the diff, and that's gonna push. So if you didn't catch what Alex was saying earlier, that kind of, now that you can see these on here, it shows while, but as it progresses and you're able to see more of it, it'll come together and your mind will understand it more. Kind of like how I am.
tab mounted to here. So as this pushes, it'll push, push the diff down.
We're building a transformer right now. It's essentially what this has become. It's so wild how like as it comes together, it just becomes so much more of a real thing. Like it's like you can see how it's all working and how it's all gonna function.
Yeah, that's like the hard part. When you're staring at it earlier, I know you're looking at like what the heck
all
are you
these
doing?
tabs and all these pieces, but like once you actually get on like all the pieces together, it starts to like take shape and become alive.
It's starting to look like something. It just makes it look more, more complex than it really is, but it's cool.
It's really not as complicated as it looks. Alex just likes to make things extra complicated for himself, so. Alright, so this cylinder is going to lay here. Not obviously on the frame, but as its general vicinity. Yeah. Parallel with the frame so that it can move the rest of it. Oh yeah.
Like
Tony Soprano. Okay, so what he's doing, he's making sleeves now. He's already done one. They go over the cylinder here to help keep this cylinder from going all crazy in the back of the truck. So it's gonna be, have this tab down here. I'm not sure if you can see it. This tab, the tab's actually gonna go up here somewhere. Keeps everything straight so that this is just gonna push off of that and move everything. But, oh my gosh, that's smoking. By the way, it's like 100 degrees in here, like no word of a lie, possibly 105. So there's the second one. He just finished welding that.
That's not any cooler? That's nice to pop.
I mean, I didn't touch it. So I wasn't about to try to touch it. Okay, you get a better idea of it now. See how it's sleeved onto the cylinder there? There you go. There's gonna be so many moving components of this truck. This is the furthest thing from a simple hydraulic setup.
That's basic.
The beginning of this build, I said, let's just keep it simple. It just needs something basic.
That's it. I think I just want to make it a little bit taller though, so at least it's parallel with that top bar.
You're gonna, like, these make taller?
Yeah, so look at that back bar right there.
Yeah.
At least it goes like that.
Yeah, but then it's not parallel to this.
Well, you're not parallel to that either. So you gotta pick and choose, and if I go higher, it also gives me better clearance with the hose, because the hose wraps around. The lower I go, as it pivots, the hose is gonna get tighter to the chassis and the bolt. So I think, because right now you're not parallel either.
No, it's not.
So the higher it goes, the safer it is for the hose, and
We like safe.
yeah, and it's matching.
I know you guys get to see, like, a lot of this edited and cut to the next part and when the tabs go in and all that kind of stuff, but I just want you to know that there is a lot of tabs because there's been a lot of trial and error and seeing how it's going to work, because this hasn't been done before on this frame, and it's a matter of figuring it out as we go along, or as Alex goes along, just figuring it out. So sometimes tabs get cut and then they get changed, and then we see how it works and then go from the next thing to the next thing, but one piece at a time.
And just to remind you too, is each tab is a separate program. So as far as like scrapping ones, like sometimes you're scrapping your time too. So some of this stuff, like just this system alone, is probably a solid 8 to 10 hours of like designing, tacking, testing, trying it, works, perfect, move to the next side. So we've been on
Because
it all day.